This is Parks and Rec meeting on May the 30th at 6:30 PM,
2023.
2023, at 6 PM.
Do you have anybody to accept the minutes?
She had call.
Roll
Yeah,
call.
right.
Let's see. Kate Smith, absent. Sue McFadden,
Absent.
Dennis Allison.
Here.
Demita, I'm here. John Jones.
Here.
Dennis K.
Here.
Jen M.
Here.
Robert S.
Here?
Brendan M.
Here.
Zachary Witt. Mike D.
Here.
Do you want to announce anybody's name?
And Kate and Sue are excused.
Okay.
Yes.
Those are excused absences.
Approval of the minutes for April the 25th, 2023.
I didn't see anything that needed to be corrected. Anybody else?
No.
I'll approve the minutes.
I second it.
Am I doing a whole meeting? Oh, okay. All right.
You got it. You're on.
Here we go. All right. Okay, we're going to review number 2, the financial reports. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Aye, Serena.
I just want to take a step back. Can everybody just say aye for the approval of the minutes or nay?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We got. Now that you got the attendance, you got to go back and approve.
Okay.
So motioned by Dennis, supported by Rob. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Seeing none, motion passes. Next, now you're good.
Okay, here we go.
Now we're good to roll with the financials.
Going to the financial reports. Any questions, comments, or concerns on the ice arena?
Nope.
Expenses?
Nice to see the revenues were a lot higher than the expenses.
Oh, yeah.
Do what?
The revenues were a lot higher than the expenses,
Yeah.
Are we
but
making
when you get
money?
the Radcliffe Center, you got the reverse.
but not by much.
No, just a couple grand.
Going on to the Radcliffe, oh, go ahead.
Well, I'll ask a question on Radcliffe. So is there like stuff that we bought that we're gonna sell or use later down the road that's gonna generate?
I mean, there's a lot of one-time expenses, like the newer art classes. We obviously have to buy.
Well, no, I know it says Microsoft for beginners. I mean,
Yes.
you know, you can
Yeah.
see the stuff that you're buying. It looks like it's either one-time stuff or it's stuff that's gonna have multiple
And things for the
uses.
community, I see the Mother's Day celebration, the expense was more than the revenue that came in, but that's fine, it's for the people in the community.
When was that? You said the Mother's Day?
Where was that one at, Dennis?
Uh,
Was that on the first page?
Radcliffe Center, it's on the second page.
Okay, we're on the Radcliffe now, okay.
You see,
Yeah, 1380.
Oh, there you go. Not the mother and son, man.
no. Mother's Day
Expenses
celebration.
are,
Oh, the very last one?
letter R.
Yeah, but you see, the expenses were $600 more.
No, here, look. No, it was more than that. Look.
2,000.
So we had on the
No,
Radcliffe Center,
just,
we had
just the Mother's Day thing, is $600 more.
Where did he?
See,
Oh, W on the one above it.
the
Right,
expense was
so
13,
W and R.
or the revenues.
What was included in the Mother's Day?
For the celebration, there was a DJ and stuff like that.
Catered food.
Yes, catered food.
And that's fine, because it's for the people in the community anyway, so.
Continuing on to the program reports. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
What is M&M?
Just little candies.
I know that. Yes.
Chocolate on the outside of them.
There was
What is
12
M&M?
participants in M&M.
M&M is a group that meets once a month, September through May. They play games, cards, have potlucks, and socialize.
Oh, okay.
Is that open to?
Everybody.
Seniors?
I don't know.
Did they decide with the Radcliffe Center about the children with the punch cards with them yet?
I don't think they decided.
Not yet,
Not
okay.
yet.
Going on to expenses. Did we do expenses yet?
I think we're at
Oh, yeah, we're on old business now. Oof,
Yeah, old business.
Master plan.
Right.
But Can I go, it looked like he had a good turnout for the wildlife safari, huh?
Yes, that's one of the most popular things that Radcliffe does, and they're gonna try to get more of those. They were trying to do it every 6 months. I think they said they're gonna try to do it every 3 months now.
Oh, okay.
So they're gonna try to increase
Okay,
more of
that's
that,
nice.
more of that activity because it keeps selling out every time we do it.
So you're thinking that like maybe 3 times a year or
Three,
something?
3 to 4
like that?
times a year instead of 2.
Yeah, you don't wanna go too many. 'cause then
Exactly.
You're gonna, yeah. 3 might be perfect, and then
Right.
that way, next year, it'll be good for 3 again.
Yep.
Well, he's got a bunch of animals because he was doing it back when I was a kid going through elementary school. So it was the same guy that
Right.
when I was at Memorial. So going up and talking with him, and he's great with the kids.
Same animals?
He tends to get it different, but he brings some of the same ones. Like some of them are easier with the littler kids because he had like a groundhog, he has a big old crocodile, he had a sea otter, so he had a bunch of like an owl, snake.
Some unique things.
Yeah, stuff you wouldn't normally get to see.
See around here.
Yeah, I went up to it and I was taking pictures, helping out the communications department, and we had some good ones.
Anything on old business with the master plan?
What about the master plan?
So the master plan, there's a new Parks and Rec director. Her name's Kim O'Farrell. She just started, not yesterday, but last Monday. She officially started full-time. She'll be at the next meeting. She had a prior commitment, but she is basically started on the master plan, getting all the wheels in motion now, so.
Okay, that's good.
She
See
was
from
also on
outside.
that Garden City, what is it? It's not a podcast, but they do something with
Yes.
garden. She was on that also.
was on that.
Community chat,
Yep.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah, she was on there.
okay.
Where is she from?
Grosse Ile.
New business?
Kiwanis Club.
Kiwanis isn't here yet.
Yeah, they're not here.
So if you guys want, I'll leave that on there again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I talked with Kim a little bit about that. They're still figuring out a little bit of their side of everything. But as soon as she gets more information, I'll keep talking with Kim when I have a chance to see where they're at in the steps, and I'll keep bringing it back to you.
And I'm sure she's trying to figure out how they can get the most bang for the buck too. That's the
Right,
other thing
then it's
she's
about-
about.
Well, and finding grants and, you know, how much they're able to spend on it, because it's, you know, a group vote of them to figure out exactly what they want. And then I'm gonna move on to the next thing, special attention. It was brought up at the last meeting by, Kate, I did, at the following council meeting, we had the garden club there. They're gonna look to see if some of the younger members are willing to help plant flowers at some of the different parks around the city, you know, around the signs that you guys were, you know, talking about and looking for. It's harder with some of the older ladies, which is what the answer that I got from Stacy on that. So they're gonna see, because they've got a bunch of newer members coming in. They're one of the fastest growing garden clubs in the area.
Really?
So they're seeing if they're getting a couple more of, you know, younger aged people to get working on that.
Yeah, they did the butterfly garden at the city park
Mm-hmm.
last week. And they did where the pig is. They
Yep.
did that also.
Oh, yeah, city
The
council.
Commons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I'm
did
on the
that.
garden club, yeah.
Oh, you in the
Yeah.
garden club? Ah.
And then I did talk with the mayor and the city manager yesterday. Have not gotten anything back on the parks grant since the last meeting, but we're still pushing.
Communication and upcoming events,
Oh, my gosh, sure have a
list
lot
of them. We have a lot.
Yep.
Got a lot going on.
Yes.
Who's running the homeschool?
So that's just like an open house, but we're trying to find more people to get involved with that, teachers and stuff like that.
You don't want to nominate you.
To get,
Are all
Homeschool.
are all the camps, are they full now, or?
No, so we
Have to
still
look
have
into
room.
that.
I believe they're allowing between 20 and 25.
Okay,
But we'll get a lot of week of registrations for those. I know last year 7 of the 9 were sold out. So
What exactly is it?
So the summer camp that we run is held at City Park, and it's from 9 to 12:45. And you basically drop off your kid, and they'll do activities. Go play at the park on the playscape.
Do they have field trips or don't they?
Yep, they try to. Carly does it. She's the one who schedules that, and she tries to schedule one field trip a week. So each week there's something different
Okay.
for a field trip. And then the movies in the park. The first one's on June 21st at Rotary Park.
Is that the
be
same
nice.
movies in the park that the museum is doing also? Are they affiliated with that? No, they do a different one? Okay.
What's the first movie?
The first movie is Lightyear. And then music in the park is also happening this month too.
Open discussion is next.
What is Hunter Educate? Oh, never mind. I know.
You got it?
I'm not
You good?
thinking. I wasn't thinking.
You good?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, can we put a note on, talk about officers next time? Make sure, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if they wanna stay, that's fine, I'm
Yep.
good with that, but it just,
Yep. I'll put that under new business.
were you here when we were talking about officers? Okay, so what happens is officers supposed to be we figured.
Yearly.
He's got 4 years, or 6, or 8, or 10, we don't know yet, but he's gonna look into it. We know she has 4. Jen confirmed it, because Jen said she's been the chair since she's been here, and Jen's been here 4 years, so. I think we just need to look at it and see if somebody wants to move on, or if there's somebody who wants
I'll
to
move up. Maybe somebody wants to move up, you know.
Does anybody have anything for open discussion?
I have nothing to.
Just that the city did a great job on the Memorial Day.
Yeah, very good.
No, I didn't get a chance to see it either.
It was really nice.
Oh, man, I'm bummed out.
No parade, but they had a nice ceremony right here on the ground.
I didn't see it. Looked great. They had
I have a couple of things.
Yeah, I was awesome.
Anybody else got any? You want me to go?
Jenny has something, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
You guys didn't have anything to do?
No, that's all I had.
Just an update from the Garden City Soccer Club. They have their picnic, which is this Sunday. They're coming back to the Garden City Park. The past couple of years, they've been over at Heinz. Just wanted to switch it up a little bit and try to get a different, perspective the past couple of years, but they're back this year at Garden City Park. They're excited about that, so they are looking for volunteers, I know. So if anyone in the community, I'm sure they would love to have you. Also, a couple of things in regards to Rotary and Manor, specifically Rotary. They were wondering if the fields at some point could get aerated and rolled. They're about to wrap up their end of their season, the 10th and 11th. Once that weekend is over, that's tryout weekend, and then, they have a little bit of a break until July or so. So I don't know if that's something that can be done at that time. And then a couple questions I had. Do you guys know when Radcliffe is starting the construction on the gym?
They're still looking for an architect right now.
Okay. And then what about the, I know Demita said something about the punch cards for the kids. Is there an update for the game room at Radcliffe for the kids' game room?
I know they were working on the movie theater for them, but I don't think that they have started on the Teen Tech Center.
Oh, okay, that's what I was talking, yeah, Teen Tech, that's it.
I think we're still waiting on pricing of like computers and stuff like that to get in there, because I think we overshot the budget,
Yeah,
because I think it was looking at about $5,000 a PC when, about 1,700 is about all that you need to really build a computer, so I think we're still working out the numbers there.
okay. And that's all I have.
My question is, do they have something like an expectation list or when something is to be determined to be done or completed? Because the question is going to keep coming up, so, no, just keep asking.
Yep,
Okay.
just keep asking.
Put it on a list.
I know we have, with the money from the county and the state, and the feds, actually. We do have a deadline. I think most of them are like by end of year next year. So we have to have stuff done by end of calendar year '24. So between now and then, hopefully, sooner. But I'll talk with Doc and see what answer I can get for next meeting too.
What about the bathrooms at Moeller? You know, they were vandalized. We were supposed to look into,
The bathrooms at Mueller?
was it at Moeller or the
No,
bathroom?
that was,
City
that was at City Park. They were fixed,
Oh, they were fixed.
and we opened them this past weekend, and they got vandalized 2 more times.
It's getting ridiculous. Maybe we should just lock them.
So,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can't put a camera.
That's crazy.
Right, because you can't put a camera there. Yeah, it's invasion of
Put a
privacy.
camera on the outside of the door, can't put.
Right, put one on the inside.
As of right now, those bathrooms are locked.
That's good, okay.
The ice rink bathrooms are unlocked. Because we do have cameras on the outside of the rink to watch people going in and out, to hopefully deter
The
them. a
little
little
silly kids doing that.
bit.
Yeah.
What park was that?
And a girl was vandalized?
Yes.
City Park.
No, that are vandalized.
City Park. City Park was
City Park,
vandalized,
City
yeah.
Park, City Park Pool House bathrooms.
I had
What time
one,
did-
oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
What time do they lock them up?
I do have
At
one more
dusk?
thing.
We were only open, since the first time they were vandalized, we closed them until there was a pavilion rental.
Oh, okay.
For the pavilion rentals, we were opening them at the pavilion time and then closing them at 8 PM.
Here's what about, could you put a lock on it and give, when somebody rents a pavilion, you give them the key?
Key.
Or get a coded one?
So the problem is that you might have 4 people using the bathroom, or 4 people using,
Yeah.
because we have 4 pavilions at the park.
Well, then,
So
you just,
we would
I
need
mean,
4
what I'm
different
saying, you
keys.
just give out 4
And
keys.
chances are, we're never gonna get those keys back.
Keys back, right.
The first thing is, you're probably not gonna get the key back.
Yep.
Okay, now you got a key out there that somebody can use anytime they want. I thought about
Just
maybe,
lock
you know, the other
Yeah,
thing it
that's
might be
what it
is
sounds like.
maybe look into.
Silly kids, man.
Well, talk to the door guys and tell them what the issue is. They're the door salesmen. They should be able to tell you. Like, I'm thinking like a coded one, and then what you do is you change the code once a week. So you got the code for the whole week, and then maybe it just, ever what you want to change, you change it, and it just changes every week. That might be better than a key. I see the problem of, you guys said, key's not going to come back unless you tell them, okay, there's a $20 key deposit. Bring the key back, we'll give you your $20. I'm sure they'll bring you the key back and get their $20.
Because my thought is, my first thought about that is someone's just gonna prop that door open.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, leave it open.
And you gotta
right.
remember, the other option you got is that too, is someone's gonna prop it open. And it doesn't matter if you put an automatic arm to close it, they are still gonna be able to find something they can prop the door
Absolutely.
open with. I know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm done. That's it. That's it. It's on you.
anything, Brendan?
Nope.
I don't have nothing.
Okay, I have one more thing, maybe a couple. Start thinking of things. I just saw recently on one of the social media pages that, I don't know if it was a rental or someone just privately used the pavilion and trashed the place. Was that a rental?
That was not a rental, that was just somebody who showed up.
Okay.
Nope.
So you can't,
We walked into that at 7:30 in the morning.
that's a bummer. Yeah, because if it was a rental, then you could find out who did it, but if, yeah, so.
Do you guys take a deposit to make sure that they clean up? Is that something you want to look into?
There-
Because it really blew up on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
There is something in the rules for renting the pavilion, but that was a non-rental. They just showed up, so there's nothing we,
They were saying they had bouncy houses, and I mean, it sounded like someone spent a lot of energy to organize it. So
Yeah.
how do they sneak in and not, you guys not get your money?
well, so if we don't rent them out, anybody can come and use that pavilion, first come, first serve. Because it's still. a
Yeah, so
public
they
park.
wouldn't
So
know.
let's say like you and me, we go there, we're gonna have our family reunion that morning, and guess what? Someone shows up and goes, oh, I have a permit for this. Well, guess what? Now we gotta leave. Now if we sit there and no one shows up with a
Right,
permit, we
right.
were the first ones there, we stay the whole day. Unless somebody shows up with a permit, because it's like you said, it's first come, first serve.
And that's,
Myself, I didn't like some of the dialogue that came along with that Facebook is probably what infuriated me more than anything else, okay? I I know we can't deal with stupidity, but we need to minimize it.
But it's hard to minimize that because when you're talking about social media, you have to remember, a lot of people, I'm not a social media fan, and I'll tell you why I'm not. Too many people do knee-jerk reactions. They hear something, they respond immediately. They make the wrong response because they responded immediately, and they didn't take the time to think about the situation before they responded to it. And if they had, they would have found they would have answered the question differently. That's the problem.
And a lot of people too, is they don't go to the right people to get the answer. They think they know the answer, it's not the right answer, so it just, I'm sure
It
I didn't,
snowballs
I didn't read all of the comments, I just saw the picture and, saw maybe one of the comments, but I didn't read the rest. But, I mean, yeah, all of the pavilions throughout the city are open to the public. They're never gonna be able to be tracked, you know, if they don't have a rental, and like he said, you know, if you do have a rental, you're gonna kick somebody out if they are there, because you're gonna have the paid receipt, and you do have to put a deposit down, so that
Sure do.
person has that. So, I mean, it could continue to happen too. So, I mean, it's very hard to track. I mean, unfortunate, but I mean, especially for Parks and Rec and, you know, everyone that had to clean that up, it's not fair, but, I mean, there's no way that we can like stop
But you know what,
it.
but that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem
Yeah.
is we can't fix stupid. And you know what? You have a city that's providing you a place where you can go, you can have a luncheon, you can have a dinner, you can do whatever you want, and you want to trash the place. Well, you know what? Those people don't even need to be here.
No. But you know,
It took 2 of our employees about an hour and a half to clean all that up.
that's crazy.
So what is your capacity for potential rentals for the rest of the year? Are most of the pavilions rented out, or are there gonna be some open days?
There's still open days.
Would you get any percentage?
I couldn't venture a guess, honestly. I mean, I know.
Yeah, I mean, you could
For-
actually figure it out. You could
Yes,
go
I
back and
could.
See how many days.
Yes,
are
I
left, or how many days
could.
are
I know for the months of June, July, and August, the main pavilion has been booked every Saturday and Sunday already. But I don't know about the smaller pavilions offhand.
And the other question I had was, do we have any other updates on any of the parks? I know they were talking about, I think it was 2023 when the pavilion was supposed to be remodeled at Rotary. Is that still aiming for 2023?
Yeah, the bid should be going out here shortly.
Okay. And then any other parks that have any updates? Anything else? Okay.
Not at this time.
Oh, I do love the trees at Rotary. The trees that were planted, those look awesome, so nice. So I know that was that the garden
'cause there
club?
were a
Or?
few
That was Garden Club.
Yeah, that was so, they look really good. So I'm just hoping that the kids stay off of those and so, but it was really cool, so. Okay, I'm done.
All right, I have one last question. So if my mind is still good and I remember things like I thought I did, when Doc first came here, he was on the kick of us buying equipment and doing our own stuff, right? That was one of his key things when he came here and he talked to us at first.
Equipment as in
Like
structures?
Yeah,
or-
structure equipment,
Like stuff for
Swing.
Parks and Rec.
right, swings and stuff like that.
You know, and
Okay.
not only that, ground equipment for the base, you know, there was all kind of things talked about.
Oh, you're like fixing the
Mulchers,
field.
yes,
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Mulchers and stuff like that. Because the comment came up about a roller and an aerator, and the question I wanted to ask, has the city ever bought a roller or an aerator? And do we
The
have
city
them?
does have both of those.
I was gonna say probably DPW for taking care of all the fields, yeah.
Because I do know that they did the baseball fields for aerating them.
Yep, and they bought that nice one with the backfill, the sand, that does the sand
Yeah.
backfill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so he'll get it over to DPW and they'll take care of it.
All right, I'm done.
That's it.
Anybody else have anything?
Anybody else?
Anybody else has anything?
Yeah, the job.
Anything from the public?
Anything from the public?
I guess want me to come up here?
Take the
Which-
stand.
Whichever works for you.
Is there a reason why the director's not here today?
She had a prior commitment.
Okay, because I'm curious on what she's gonna bring. She gave us a brief little conversation. I'm just wondering what's in the game plan, because you guys are a separate entity. And I've done 3 years of this budget stuff that they have going on. And I really, someone needs to clear it up, because you guys, sort of seems like that, council tells you what money you have, and then you guys gotta try to make it in there. And with this, master plan that's coming up, I know there's a lot of federal money that's gonna be available, so we really need to get our game up. Try to squeeze everything in what we can out of it.
You're right, but on that, you gotta have somebody who can write the grants. The federal money comes up, but you gotta have a grant writer. If you don't have a grant writer, you ain't gotta pray at the money. You gotta turn it in grants to
I
get.
didn't realize how much Parks and Rec is run on grant money. And one of the things I learned that I probably earmarked, let's say we get so much money, you guys should have gotten X amount of it. And I think that was the argument Pat McCarthy had a couple of years ago, where she was looking to get somebody in Parks and Rec, and they made a political thing out of it. And I just want to make sure each department, has the opportunity to excel.
We had someone at this, that was running the senior center who could write grants very well, but she.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, and we have, like, the FRC has somebody who writes grants, because they're pretty much fully grant funded. So that's a lot of the grants that come into the parks side of the city budget.
Right, and it's almost too bad you couldn't
I
get
think
Margot to just write grants
somebody
and pay her a
didn't-
portion of. Yeah, I mean, pay her a portion. I mean, she writes a $50,000 grant and she gets a $50,000 grant. Give her $5,000. I don't care, because you know what? That's $45,000 that the city saved.
Didn't the city look into to hiring somebody to just write grants?
Too expensive.
And it was so expensive.
Yeah, when we looked before the election, I know it was brought up, I think most of them were out of state, wanted to stay out of state, and it
right,
was
they work from
120
home,
plus a year.
Yes.
I
There
know,
was no guarantee.
All
Yep.
they would guarantee is that they'd write the grant.
Yep.
Not that you
Yeah.
got one.
well, and the issue arises where they write the grants, we get them, and the way it was written, it's not stuff we can use.
Right.
Because you have to follow them to a specific T, and, say if it's written for flowers for one of our parks, well, it's a flowers for that park. So if, like, the garden club goes and does the flowers at that park, we can't use that money for flowers for Garden City Park, so it just depends on, like I said, how it was written. And they'll write 1 million of them, get 800,000 of them, 10 we can use. So it's just whatever all works out. I know we did, at the last council meeting, it was brought up again for a part-time, see what we can get for a part-time person in the city. I know Demita at one point said she wanted to look into seeing if she could get to grant writing, so we.
I just can't believe that there's not a grant writer out there that wouldn't be writing grants for a percentage of the take. But maybe that's not how they get paid. I mean, because like when you say 120 for a whole year, well, what if you get me 50,000? That didn't work so well. I lost 70. If I'm paying you 120, I expect you to bring me at least 120, right? I want to break even. Now next year, I expect you to bring me 150, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna pay you 120.
Yeah, I mean, it can work out, but it can also, you can have dead years. And with COVID, we've had a lot of, like, the ARPA funds and the omnibus funds and all these other things that have stimulated the cities, which is, what's going into the Radcliffe Center, coming in and doing the fire department, the police department, some of their updates. So we have had all of that money come in to do those kind of things, and Radcliffe's a big one that's getting almost, $4 million altogether, or? Yeah, over $4 million, because we got $4 million from the county, and we're putting in $1 million ourselves in work alone. So, I mean, $5 million's being put into Radcliffe between all of the rooms, the new gymnasium, the new entrance, and all that kind of stuff. So we have the funds coming in for it. It's just the grants are so specific to what they are. And like I said, we're still waiting on the DNR one.
Take a long time for some reason.
Well, I think it expires here pretty soon, and that's been working since Plamondon was still here. If that gives you,
I started 4
yeah.
years ago.
So I know they're getting down to the nitty gritty of it. So they're emailing back and forth rather often, because I keep asking, trying to get the answer.
Yeah, if I can remember, a lot of the state employees were working from home, and that's put a.
State, county, everywhere. Oh, yeah.
So my question is, I thought that when you apply for a grant, that they give you the option of seeing the last grant that was written. So couldn't they be able to follow that grant more specifically to the T to, if if you had one person that just coming in to write grants part-time, or just a few hours out the month or something of that sort.
I'm not 100% sure on the actual process of writing them. I just know that they have to be followed to a T. So depending on how it was written, you know, if it's somebody who doesn't know Garden City that's coming in and writing these grants thinking, you know, we have a pool. Well, we don't have a pool anymore. So, you know, it's just because, you know, maybe they're from California in a city that has 3 community pools in their city. So, you know, just what works out. Because I think one of them was Oregon, one was New Hampshire, and another one was mid-northern west state. So it's not a lot of cities like Garden City that these people want to stay in to do the grant writing for. But like I said, I don't know the exact process of physically writing them. I just know that the following them specifically to their T's and how they were written is the hard part of it. Anything else, Mr. Murray?
You want more about Allen Park especially. It does need some more wood chips to balance it out.
Which
around
part?
the play area.
Helen.
Park. And also, they've seeded everywhere around the city but Allen Park. So I'm not sure what's going on with Brad and Steve, but, you know, the park's being used, and the kids, you know, I think would rather play on grass than, mud. I appreciate everything you guys are doing for us. Thank you.
I have one more. Did we ever find out if Tipton was willing to help out with Florence?
I haven't got an email back. I'll send another one tomorrow.
Any other thing? I make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Opposed? Danita?
Oh, the meeting is now adjourned. I was writing, sorry.
Oh, you didn't practice, eh?
You did